Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are diving deep into one of the cleanest and most powerful tools in forex trading, which is the trend line. A lot of traders draw trend lines the wrong way, misuse them, or don't even understand what they truly mean. But after this video you will know how to draw them and how to use them and how to combine them with confluence or sniper entries. So sit tight, pay close attention, and let's break it down step by step. First and foremost, you need to understand what trend line is. A trend line is a simple diagonal line that shows you the direction of the market. It tells you if the market is moving up or the market is moving down. Either of these two. And it also tells you if the market is consolidating. A trend line is like a roadmap. A trend line is like a roadmap. Once the trend line breaks and close beyond the trend line, right? The price might be changing its trend. When price keeps touching that line and respecting it, the trend stays valid. Take for instance, right? This is your trend line. This is our trend line. When price keep hitting our trend line consistently, then this particular trend is very strong, right? But when price break and closes beyond or below the trend line, you can see this is a close. This is a close here. This is a candle close. When price break and close beyond this trend line, the trend might be changing, right? You can actually see that the trend of the market shift from price was moving to the upside, and when price broke this trend line, the trend of the market had to shift from uptrend and price started trending to the downside. Now the big question is why trend line matters. Trend line helps you to identify the overall trend of the market. Yes, with the use of the trend line, you'll be able to identify, like I said earlier, if the trend is moving down, upward, or in a consolidating market. It avoids you trading against the market. Find continuation setups. You can use the trend line to find continuation setups, and it also gets you sniper entries on pullback. Right now, how do you get your sniper entries? It's very simple, and I'll be talking about that. That is the reason why it's important to watch this video to the end. The trend line also helps you to know when to buy or to sell with confidence, right? The trend line gives you a good confidence. If you master how to use the trend line, you become automatically a more disciplined trader, right? You need to discipline yourself and understand how the trend line works. Now let us talk about uptrend. Let us take it one after the other. An uptrend line is drawn by connecting the higher lows. It shows buyers are in control. Whenever price pull back to the trend line, it may bounce and continue going up. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. This is an uptrend, right? Your trend line must connect to higher low. This is a higher low. This is a higher low. This is a higher low. Now, your trend line needs to connect your first higher low, connect the second, touch the second higher low. Then you'll be waiting for price to come back to pull back to our trend line before taking your your buy, because this is a bullish trend. Before taking your buy, there must be a touch here, and this your touch should be in confluence with your other block, and that will be another video. I'll be explaining that on another video, but I just want you to understand and have a clear understanding how the trend line works. And for a downtrend is the opposite of what I've been explaining. In a downtrend is drawn by connecting the lower highs, right? This is a lower high. This is a lower high. Price connecting these two lower high, you take it down. Let's assume that this price haven't gotten to this level, but we've connected our two lower highs, waiting for price to come and touch our trend line, which is the third touch. This is the first, this is second, and this is the third touch. So we'll be waiting for the third touch so that we can take our entry, and you can see how massively price pulled to the downside. You understand? And also sideways market. When price is moving in a sideways market, right? You get to, draw your trend line at the top and at the bottom of the trend. The market moves inside, like a bouncing ball, where something like this. These are trend line, right? These are trend line, and you see a situation where price will be moving up, up, down, no specific direction, right? The trend line is also used in identifying this kind of structure, right? So that is how to draw our trend line. Now, how do we draw our trend line properly? Most beginners draw trend lines wrong. They force the line of the chart just to make it fit their bias, which is very, very wrong. But here's the correct way. Rule number one, you have this at the back of your mind. Rule number one, connect at least two valid points. You know, that is what I just explained. Connect at least two valid points. This is point one, and this is point two. Connect at least. This is a very important rule that you need to stick to. Connect two important valid points. A trend line is not valid if it touches only one point. You need two or three, most times two valid points. Now, rule number two, don't force your trend line. The market should respect the trend line naturally. If you bend the line to, a situation whereby you now start bending the line to match your price, you will get fake out signals. You'll be getting fake signals. So you must, put your trend line on the point. This is the point one, this is the point two. Just because I want to, suit my whatever, I'll now start, maintaining the trend line in such a way that it doesn't follow the rules or the plan. At the end of the day, I'll end up blowing or losing my account. Stick to the rules. Use the body of the candles. This is a very important thing, right? Sometimes you use the wick, but for me, yes, we say you can use the wick or the body, whichever one. They work together, right? Trend lines are zones, not resulting lines. Don't treat your trend lines like a single piece. Price may react around the line because it's a zone, right? When price comes around your trend line, after you must have, point out your 2 points, the third touch is a zone on the trend line. You understand? Now, most common strategy is price is trending. Price pull back to the trend line, which is this pullback. This is what I'm trying to explain, right? This is the first touch, the second touch, then we'll be waiting for price to give us our third touch. This is a clear example of what I have been talking about. Meanwhile, this is our trend line. This is our lower high, our lower high, our lower high. You understand? You use your trend line to enter your trade in line with the direction of your trend. Like I said, the trend line is used to identify the direction of your trend. When price finally breaks through the trend line, the trend might be ending. This is very important. When the candle breaks or when price breaks above your trend line and closes above. Yes, most times the trend of the market might be ending. You understand? So these are things you look at for a strong candle breaking the trend line, a retest back to the trend line, a confirmation before entry. These setups give you clean reversal. You understand? Trading, trading with your trend line, your support and resistance, your demand and supply, with combined with all other of your strategies, maybe SMC strategy, what do you call it, support and resistance. A lot of people that use indicators to trade also combine this trend line strategy. You understand? Trend line plus a market structure. Like I said, I will say it again. The trend line must align with the structure. Uptrend, higher highs and higher lows. Downtrend, lower highs and lower lows. If the structure break, don't trust the trend line. If the structure breaks, don't trust the trend line. These are simple rules that we just have to abide with. And the easiest way to make it in the forex industry is, following your plan. There must be, as a trader, there must be a plan that you must have made on ground for you to follow. Follow your plan. Draw trend lines to match their bias. Trace, chase price too close. Use only trend lines with no confirmation. Trade every touch, no patience. Forget that the trend line can break. These are what beginners often miss. You understand? Trend lines are guide, not signals. Use them with confidence. Only trend line cannot just work on its own. I'm just teaching you and guiding you on how to and the importance of trend line. Use it with you know other your strategies, right? I know people will ask, or some persons will ask the best trend, the best time frame for. To me, I feel trend line works on any time frame, but then it works best on 30 minutes time frame, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 4 hours, 2 hours, and thereabout. But most times, trend line is mostly noisy on lower time frame, like 1 minute, 5 minutes, and even 15 minutes. So traders that trade a full breakdown of trend line, what they are and how they draw them, and how to use them for clean and confident entries. If you practice this, your charts will become clearer, your entries will improve, and your confidence will grow. If you find this video helpful, like the video, subscribe, and drop a comment. Let me know the next topic you want me to break down. Now, I'll be doing a quick review of everything I have said today and the rules. Number one, the trend line must connect at least it must touch two valid points. Do not force your trend line. Do not force it. The market should respect the line naturally. Do not force the line so that it will, suit your price or match your price or something. You can use the body or the wicks. You can use the body of the wicks. Join the trend line is just for you to pick the trend line to and getting one point, connecting the other point, and you can extend it down, waiting for the last point. But this one I'm just doing is just for you to just to show you how to draw the trend line. But if you want to draw it, you draw it on the other side, because for a downtrend you are drawing your trend line on the tops, which is the lower highs, while uptrend you are drawing your trend line at the higher lows, these are very, very simple rules that we should try as much as possible to abide with, and you will see that at the end of at the end of everything, if you try as much as possible to master the act of using your trend line, you will now start seeing the market clearly, and everything will be as simple and easy. Mind you, you must attach your trend line strategy with other. You can't trade the trend line alone. You can't trade it alone. You will use other confluence for your entries. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next lesson. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. Thank you.